The Ball and Socket Manufacturing Company site has been a very recognizable landmark in Cheshire, Connecticut since its origins in 1850. In 2011, its future was uncertain. The factory had closed in 1994 due to the changing manufacturing landscape. The buildings were left largely abandoned. Without steady maintenance and repairs, the building began the process of degradation that any building would. But with hundreds of windows in place, old factories become magnets for vandalism. Owned by a neighboring manufacturer since Ball and Socket closed in the early 1990s, the site was put up for sale. Despite an amazing location and historic legacy, there was only one interested party, a small grassroots nonprofit, Ball and Socket Arts.
When I first walked in, I was just totally overcome with how incredibly beautiful these spaces are, and I immediately could see that it would be an incredible arts center. I'm an arts professional, so it just seemed like this was the perfect fit for the space. And by the time I left these buildings the first time, I was committed. I was going to be doing this. I gave myself the name The Accidental Preservationist because I found myself suddenly doing a lot of preservation activities, namely restoring windows. I realized though as further along I get in this that I've always been a preservationist. I just didn't know it until I started working on this project. And for me, it's really about the craftsmanship that goes into making these things. They were built with noble materials, with just really tried and true old-fashioned technology. So the craftsmen who built the buildings left the directions for us. You know, we just do it like they did it, and then we have a preservation project.
The Ball and Socket team secured pilot funding from Connecticut DECD's Office of Brownfield Remediation and Rehabilitation, which is dedicated to transforming brownfield sites from economic liabilities to assets. With enough funding in place to purchase the property, Ball and Socket Arts began assembling a team. One of the first people to join was project architect David Arai.
I'm a historic architect. My firm in Hartford has done a bunch of mill conversions. You know, I knew the ins and outs of historic buildings, historic mills. Ball and Socket is in my hometown. I've been living here since 1995. You know, when we first moved to town, it's one of the first buildings you see when you come into town. I always drove by it, watching it boarded up, saying, wow, I hope someone does something with that. When I first started this project, I told Ilona that she was looking for at least 10 years and then the momentum would start, and the momentum finally started. It's really starting to roll. It's just been such an honor to be a part of this and to watch it come together the way it has with everyone who's so vested in it.
As word spread of the project, many residents of the community came forward to help and support the vision, providing enough funding to keep the nonprofit viable in its early years. Offers of donated talent in many forms also surfaced.
I grew up in this area and I still live in the neighborhood. I've been a photographer for over 40 years, and over that time I've pretty extensively documented a lot of the people in town and places, and Cheshire has certainly changed a lot over that time. I live real close by to the factory, so I generally take a walk over with my camera and try to document anything I see, especially things that are about to change or have recently changed. It's been great for my wife and I to see the impact that it's already had on the neighborhood and greater arts community.
I got involved in this project accidentally. I was out having dinner one night and wandered into a local fundraising party for the project. Really loved the idea of restoring the landmark for the community's use. I thought, well, why not support it? I'll buy a window. Then 4 years later, I joined the board. I'm the kind of person who likes to get things done, and the more I learned about the project, I realized this project is a game changer for not only our town, but really for the whole central Connecticut region. It's too good an idea to not make happen. So I became a dedicated person to making this happen at all costs. People in town, they couldn't see it succeeding. I, on the other hand, decided I was going to put all our resources into getting phase 1 done. If we can get part of it done, get it open, get people back on the site, then folks will stop doubting. They'll be here, they'll see the possibilities, they'll get engaged. It's a beautiful thing to be part of this transformation and its rebirth.
Ball and Socket Arts succeeded in opening the first floor of Building 2 in 2022 to house Sweet Claude's Ice Cream, which had been serving Cheshire since 1988. Since then, the site has seen an endless stream of people, many on bicycles and on foot from the trail, visiting to have delicious ice cream and enjoy the first public art commission in the Arcade, Evolution, painted on site by RC in the spring of 2022. Recently, Ball and Socket's second tenant was announced, Arts Place, founded in 1987 as a municipally run arts education program. This school has been teaching art to students of all ages for 2 generations. It is a perfect union, bringing a dedicated arts audience right into one of the town's most beloved landmarks and deepening the private-public partnership between the municipality and Ball and Socket Arts.
I just can't imagine a better home for Arts Place than in this building. I'm really thrilled with the private-public partnership that the Town of Cheshire's Arts Place and Ball and Socket has developed, and I think it's a huge benefit to our entire community, all our residents and businesses, and beyond.
We're planning exciting new arcade commissions, free public concerts, engaging art exhibitions in the Woodshop Gallery, and writing workshops, all starting in 2023. Cheshire's own Nina Chang, currently studying at the Rhode Island School of Design, is working on the second arcade mural.
I grew up looking at this old factory my entire childhood, so when I heard about this project, I was very excited to see that it's taking on a new form, finally.
None of this progress is cheap or fast. Ball and Socket Arts is seeking donors at all levels to contribute and to invest in our vision of a welcoming, arts-centered regional destination in a historic landmark and of a walkable West Main commercial district. If you have the means to contribute or to volunteer, please reach out to our team at any time. Naming opportunities are available, and we will need your help to begin transforming Building 1. That's the big one. Building 1 will house the main exhibition hall, a large-scale former factory floor that will host exceptional arts exhibitions from throughout New England. The second floor will feature a roughly 100-seat flexible performance space that is equipped for concerts, lectures, film screenings, and art talks. We are also planning an interactive history museum in the front of Building 1 to house rotating exhibits that explore the labor history of the region, the canal, the railroad, and other topics with interactive exhibits. These artistic offerings will be accompanied by a food court and mission-aligned tenants that will make Ball and Socket Arts a destination for a phenomenal day and will be a driver of the creative economy.